This is a microservice. The links that you were receiving last night are saving you $230 a month, right? Yes. You can go the hard route and it'll hurt your it'll hurt your budget. And it will not classify your account as a business account, right? This is one of the things that we have to really be cognizant of. And sometimes those dots don't connect because either I'm a bad communicator, which could have happened last night too, that we're not connecting the dots in a proper way for you. But rest assured, we're trying our best. And there are over 100 people in the class, and all of them are scattered around wanting to know what they need to do. And many people have been in previous seasons who already have all of the things except for, the new stuff that we put in last night. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to build it. Cash Money Kev was one of those folks. He built and went ahead and got his, entire ecosystem, parked his butt in the chair and made it. So it was a live link last night, and you could see how he kind of linked together like Christmas tree lights, all of the previous skills that he had learned. We're all at different levels. And this is the one time where you do not compare yourself to anybody else, because your mission, your service, your goals, your experience, all of them are super unique. And when you have a classroom of all unique things working side by side, we're all building something different. It can be a little hairy, it can be a little uncomfortable, but that's what maker spaces are. Maker spaces are very, at its root, a shared time on the timeline here in the digital, shared space, which is this piece of real estate in time that we are sharing, space, time, ideas, and tools. So when you understand what a digital makerspace is, you're coming to the table. This is a giant freaking buffet, folks. This is a banquet, and it's a potluck. If you are not a part of our ecosystem and have never heard the term potluck, it means you're bringing your dish to share. And you're bringing it to the table. We're all going to have different tastes and experiences and spices and way of whipping up those grandma's cupcakes, secret recipes, etc. But we're going to put them all out at the table, and you get to pick and choose your journey, your diet, your whatever, but you're going to leave well fed. And so, leave the frustrations of last night at the door. Today is a new day. It's the day before Independence Day. If you want to put on some great music in the background, get yourself a cup of coffee. Alisher's going to go through. He's going to have the live stream up. But by the end of today, 1, you need to be in the Slack channel. 2, you need to have at least 3 new things in your digital backpack. All right. Mintify last night, Intercom, and Premium Code. Okay. All of those links are in the Slack. Number 3, you need a domain name. And with that domain name, just make sure you have Stripe, right? And number 4, and this is the most important, you need a cPanel or Vercel, something to create that little website. Now, most people are going to use WordPress, just because, you know what, we can always get help with WordPress. If you choose to go on expert mode, just know that there are, you're minimizing the folks that can help you out in the wild. And the idea here is to aim small, miss small. We can think of delusions of grandeur later. We're just going to do the one thing. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, you can come up into the speaker box and go ahead and ask them. But we are going to rush through for the next 50 minutes. So if you have questions, you can put them in the purple bubble. You can put them in the Slack channel. We're monitoring all of these things, and you're going to build it. And for those of you that have never built a website before, I highly recommend revisiting season 9. I think it was 2 or 3. I can't remember. Revisiting those seasons to see how the flow goes. And it's a super easy listen. Just listen to it at fast speed, or just listen to the Thursday spaces on fast speed, and you will understand the process that Tech in Schools uses, because they kind of do the same thing. And sometimes this is a Sarah problem. We forget, because it becomes such commonplace that we forget that there are a whole bunch of new people at the table that may not even know what a website is, right? So forgive me ahead of time if something does not connect. I am never offended if you ask questions and say, Sarah, I do not understand a word you're saying. That is perfectly cool with me, because it means that we're having this two-way conversation. And to teach someone else is to learn twice. I get to learn my own communication skills and how well I actually know the information, which sometimes is not. I could be totally talking out of my rear end and not understand any of it, which has happened on a number of occasions. So, we leave our egos at the door here and just come as, people who want to hack their own education and change their stars. So, without any other further chit chat, I hope I've checked all the boxes. Everybody gives a thumbs up. Everybody takes a swig of coffee, takes a deep breath, and buckles in. It's going to be a great adventure. So, Alisher, take it away, my love.
Yeah, guys. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with intercom, and that's the first thing everybody really did um, yesterday, besides building the front page, and then Midlify. We'll set those up, and then we'll go to building a front page, just to get them out of the way. But overall, yeah, the main things you really need to be in is the Slack channel, because I just put the link to intercom in there, where you can sign up, and your first year is gonna be for free. And I would say another important thing is if you don't have hosting, you don't have access to where you can put a website, just hit us up, and we'll either send you a link to AI Mastery. If you have Vercel, we'll tell you how you can work through it in Vercel. And I'm actually going to be doing a project in Vercel because I wanted to use Next.js and Stripe and all those things. But ultimately, the easiest thing you can do is use WordPress because it just comes with pre-built pages, and Intercom has a plugin for WordPress. So let's get started with Intercom. Now, when you get started with Intercom, if you follow this link, you're going to be put in the startup program. It's in Slack. It is the last message in Slack. Let's see. I don't think I have an Intercom account, so this would be perfect. So 100% off discount. We'll do apply now. And yeah, John, you could apply now. And the live stream is on top. Now, what is Intercom? Well, Intercom is kind of like a support chatbot, right? Previously, before AI, we would have these chatbots where you had predefined responses. I know, like Cassandra mentioned last night, ManyChat. But now you have AI. The chatbots are kind of like a lot more dynamic. So this chatbot can do a few things, right? It can learn about your service. It can you can give it predefined options, just like you could before to a regular chatbot. And you could also kind of teach it its documentation, so they can help the people who visit your website, whether you want to talk about pricing or whether they're interested in how something works in your app or how to do something on your app. It's like a great support chatbot, like a support and sales chatbot. Let's see. We're gonna continue with Google. I should have an account that I use for my Thursday recaps. Okay, company name. I don't know. I'll just put my name for now.
Are you able to change the company website name at any time later?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Ooh, technical difficulties. Ooh.
That's what we had last night.
Yeah. All right. Cool. There you go. Okay. Funding level. Pre-seed employees 1 to 5. Company website. Um. Okay. I just think I have a domain. I think I have Alisher.space. So we'll put it on that. Select partner 11 Lab. I think.
One of the other things as you're scrolling through all of their partner affiliations, take note. That is a huge, massive list of all of these people. And it also gives you insight of who other, entities you can partner with. So that's like a little tell, and it's a very cool thing to pay attention to. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just fill out my payment info. See where is, but make sure it says it's due after trial is 0. So you have a free for a year. That's the difference between like the regular trial, which is 14 days, and then you pay the monthly, versus a startup trial. Right? If you're a business or service, I guess they want to maybe promote you a little bit more. And also, if you notice, almost any website that has a chatbot is most likely Intercom, because you're able to take over as a person and message back as well. So it's very versatile. It's not just AI. You guys have any questions so far while I go through the sign up?
I am so giddy. Um, all of the problems that we had, the friction points last night. I'm wondering if it's just because the link that you had, Alisher, is different than the one Ross had, slightly. But it was quick and easy.
It's possible.
Make sure it says 0, folks. That's a big point.
I think what ended up happening is you guys first signed up. Like you went to intercom.com and signed up and saw that free trial, versus going to this link.
That's exactly what happened. Yep. You should have a screen that says 14-day trial started, and it has a list of what happens next, right? Mine looks like a little key with a heart. You will be able to have that instantly. You need this, folks. If you do not have this by the end of our session, you are in trouble, because one of the things, this, we don't know when this offer ends, but 11 Labs is incredibly powerful. And the tools that you have here are going to be an integral part of your website. So you want to make sure that you do not confuse this one piece. Okay. There are other pieces that you're going to be totally confused on, guarantee it. But last night, I will tell you, with the handful of folks here in the room that were really struggling last night, um, it wasn't your fault, just so you know. That was a glitch. That was a problem with the whole entire ecosystem. So, you know what? New page, new day, and you can get her done, got her did. I actually got in. I could not do it for last night. So, there is hope for you, each and every one of you. All right, go ahead, Alisher.
Yeah, guys. And again, just make sure before you click start free trial that it says $0 monthly.
And this is where I was talking about last night. For our classes and the previous sessions, we've always, kind of recommended, go to Meijer or go to, well, whatever store you have, get a prepaid card. You know, maybe $100 on it. You don't need more than that, I guarantee you. But always have that prepaid card just for your class. Why? Because it keeps it adds another layer of security. It adds a fence, right? You're not going to automatically get a surprise charge to your credit card or a ding to your credit rating or anything else. When you're playing with these kinds of tools, set yourself up for a win, right? You want to make sure that, if you're a person like I am, I forget some of these subscriptions. I'm subscribing to random crap every day. And whether it's in my professional real world as a coach and a maker space person, we get free stuff with our robotics team all the flipping time, and it's embedded with not nice, So you want to make sure to keep it separated, right? A prepaid card is your best friend because you can always add money to it, right? But it's also a safeguarding it. And so if you forget something, or let's say there are some AI tools that will not let you cancel if your life depended on it. It is such a huge, big drives you nuts. Prepaid cards are your safety net because they can't go past it. Cassandra, your hands up, my love.
Yeah, I was just going to comment. I'm in the back end of Intercom. So last night I spoke about SMS and things of that nature. So just a really quick thing here. So the other channels, not all of them are free. So I was just going to say, if you guys have anything to say on that, like SMS is billed on usage. So I'm assuming they have our credit card. So if you're going to use those other verticals, then you will be charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then as we move forward, Alisher, where do I sent you the email with my code. Which platform do I go to put that into? And where do I put it?
You put it in your code. However it is that you have your code, whether it's in VS Code or any other code editor, Windows,
But do I
Cursor.
put it in Versal or GitHub? Like, how do I get it to show up live? Where do I put those snippets of information?
Wherever you edit the code, right? So wherever you edit the front page for your code, that's where you put. You could do it in GitHub, but that's not a good place. That's not a good editor to use. But you could do it in GitHub. Yeah, you can find the front page in GitHub, edit that page, and should automatically redeploy in Vercel. You don't need to go to Vercel.
Okay, I'm going to try to attempt that while we're here. And you can just put it anywhere.
Front page.
Okay.
But realistically, yeah, you want to put it somewhere where it's visible everywhere, right? Wherever you want it visible, realistically. So you kind of have to think about that a little bit.
And then the light between docs and then the light between Cassandra SaaS, the SaaS, I'm assuming that's the one I want to be in.
I mean, that's
Yes, I think that's.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember the name of the project, the exact name of the project, right? I'll work it on my own project for the situation. Also, just to think about it, let's say maybe you don't want it on the front page, right? Because bots, the bots could go, random people can go and just start messaging it, not necessarily related to your website. So maybe if you have something with a login system and you only want your already existing customers to get that support like we do, maybe think about adding it after the login page.
Okay. Changes to front page.
And Dan, I did see your hand. So after Cassandra, you can jump in. Okay, hon?
I'm not seeing the pages. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to kind of circle around and you may have to ask for additional help here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working on your project, just use AI, right? That'll help you.
The other thing too is if you want to jump in and live stream in the Slack channel so people can see what you're doing.
I'm not even
That's
up to that part right now yet. So maybe if we hold on, Cassandra, and watch the live stream and follow along, because our projects are going to be very similar right now. Maybe that'll be useful.
Okay. Yeah, well, I see sign up and sign in. I see those folders. So maybe that's where I need to put it. Log in, sign in.
Yeah, again, if you want to talk about your specific project, we can talk after. Right now, I just want to put it on like the generic project that I've created.
You bet. I'm going to watch. Thank you.
Dan, did you need to jump in real quick?
No, I think I'm good. I scrubbed back and I saw it on the live screen. My headphones were playing Bluetooth hockey, but I think I'm good.
Excellent. I hope you got a hat trick. Those are always great. All right, continue, Alisher.
Yeah, well, my question is, who has an Next.js or a React website and who has like a WordPress website, right? There's two different ways to go about it. Yesterday, you guys saw the WordPress way, where you install the plugin. I'm going to do the code way, where I take a piece of code, and add it to my website. So who did it the WordPress way yesterday?
I think we had a lot of people that were struggling and were not really connected one way or the other. How many people in the audience, thumbs up, have your cPanel or have a WordPress website? That's what we need to know. Excellent. Okay, so Rutro, Johnny, Dan, they're all going the cPanel route.
I'm exploring, so I could go either way. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to, yeah.
Very good. Well, and you should know both. Why? Because Next.js is really important and it is a cool skill. So this is the thing, is that you should be ambidextrous, right? Because, you never know when, you're going to have to migrate or something else. So how many folks have the Vercel route? Because Vercel is also, in some cases cheaper, some cases not. So we want to make sure. Okay, Whitney's awesome. I love Whitney. If you're not following Whitney, you better. She's just a really, really cool person. All right, Jeff does also, and Jeff has a question. Dan may have a question. All right. So today, if you are not going the Vercel route, sit back and podcast mode, because the same underpinnings, it doesn't matter which platform you're going to use, you still have to figure out the basic mechanics of connecting this to that, right? So as you're watching this, you're learning that there are multiple ways to get to the same solution, right? It's the multiple ways to skin a cat, as we used to say in anatomy class, right? Okay. Whitney goes first, then Jeff.
Hey, Sarah, thank you so much. I'm looking at a hybrid solution. Like, I love how I can get all these animations and everything in Next.js and this like interactivity. But when it comes to adding a marketplace, like I also want to connect it to WordPress and like a WooCommerce marketplace. So I don't know if it's like a hybrid approach, but
Whatever
like
you
that's
can do in
gonna be best.
Next.js, you can do in WordPress.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can look up. We talked about this a few weeks ago with Dave Meir. Look up GSAP or Revolution Slider, and you will be, I think, pleasantly surprised at how well WordPress does animations.
Okay, cool. I'm looking that up right now.
But yeah, guys, WordPress way, extremely easy, right? The way WordPress works, you can go to plugins, you can add a new plugin and just search for Intercom.
The other thing too is that WordPress, you can find help. So if you're a newbie and a very novice person that just needs to get her done, got her did, choose the path of least resistance and where you can get the most help, or where there's the most, out in the wilderness that can help you. The learning curve is a little higher, but you have the machine, you have AI to lean heavily into. The only thing is when you're messing with code, you don't know if it's lying to you or not. So that's always something to marinate on your path. You're choosing your own adventure, and there are hybrid approaches. Jeff, you had a question real quick before Alisher continues.
Well, I'd stuck my thumbs up when you were asking about the websites because I have one. But I haven't been able to follow. I tried last night and I can't even get, Slack to let me log in on my computer. So I wasn't able to actually follow along last night. And then my computer was running out, so I had to bail. And now I'm at work. So same kind of issue here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get caught up with this.
Can you even get into the Slack at all?
Well, he is in Slack.
On my phone, yes. But my phone don't talk to my computer.
All right. I'm going to put a
So
little
I can't get
Go ahead.
So I cannot get the links into my browser to be able to do the work I need to on the computer.
All right. By the end of class, we'll try to figure that one out. All right.
Jeff,
Because yes, you're at work now.
You just need to go and reset your password for Slack and then log in.
Yep. I think that's what I was going to suggest.
Because
too. Yep.
you are in
Yep.
Slack. I've spoken to you in Slack maybe less than a month ago.
I think what he's saying is that he's on the
Yeah.
phone and he can't the two are not talking together. His laptop has nixed him out. He might need a fresh link in an email address or something, but we will work it out. It happens. I got knocked out too. So, and it just happens sometimes when you're in a different browser or whatever. Sometimes it gets a little finicky. So, kind of cycle through all of your fixes, and it usually helps. But yes, Jeff, I will make sure by the end of the day that you are definitely where you need to be. And if you don't have those links, we can walk you through it. There are a lot of people in the Slack channel. All right. We're going to continue to plow through. Jeff, you are going to have to be very vigilant though, because you need to make sure that you have your intercom. That is super important for everybody listening in. You need to make sure, and the link is working this morning. Last night we did have trouble. I got in perfectly fine, so I can help Sherpa people through. We have about a half hour, folks, so we're gonna sit on our hands and listen and chime in if we get hopelessly lost. Okay, go ahead, Alisher.
Yeah, guys, WordPress route, super easy. It's just a plugin. You don't need to use any code. You just log into your intercom and it's all done. Now, for React, it's a little bit different. If you have Next.js, React, anything that's basically JavaScript based, there is a package you could install, or pretty sure you could just put in an embed. Let's see, code snippet. Basic JavaScript. There you go. This is what we want. We want the basic JavaScript. Now, how do we get here? You go to channels and you select Messenger, right? Messenger is that little chat bot on the bottom right of the screen. And yes, Cassandra, you're absolutely right. For all those other channels, you probably still need to pay. But the main heavy lifting and the AI part of it, you're getting for free. So let's see. This is why you might need to pull your code into VS Code, because you might need to install something, right? So this is recommending me that I install this package. So let's see. I'm gonna go to a Next.js project because it looks like this project is still going. So we'll let it run. But I have another project that I've been using. Let's see. I'm building an app that will download and transcribe and analyze spaces for you. Because we have a lot of spaces audio, right? But we don't really have it transcribed, and you can't really download spaces as of right now. Even like all these other websites, they're kind of iffy. So I'm going to build something that's going to be a little bit more streamlined. Now check this out. This is my typical Next.js structure, right? I'm going to zoom in. This is how your typical Next.js app looks like. You have app, components, lib, node modules, envs, and whatnot. Right? This is a starter that we've used before in previous seasons. This is the official Vercel starter. So this will 100% work. This is the project that your project is actually based on, Cassandra. So this is a SaaS starter that I use all the time. And I encourage everybody else to use. Super easy. You put in a few lines of code and it works. Now, let's see. What do the directions actually tell me to do? They tell me that I need to run this command to install the package. So I'm going to do pnpm add. I'm going to add this package. And then it gives me a snippet of code that I can put in. This is the official way. This is like the most streamlined way to do it. You don't even need AI for this. You just follow what it tells you, run this command, add this code. Simple. Now, if I want this to be accessible without login, let's see. I'm going to select for website visitors without logins? Not necessarily though. And then I'm just going to put in this piece of code. Simple. Now, since I want it on my front page, and maybe if I want it on every page, that's something to consider, right? I have my layout. Now, layout is typically on every page, right? So if you have a layout, this is probably how every page gets read. So in here, all I'm going to do is just start adding this code. Right? You want to add the code that says import to the top, and then this piece of code, you can just copy and paste it. So let's see. Add this in. Probably don't need to add in React. And then just grab this intercom code. It's actually even less code than you need. And let's see where we can throw it. I got it. And this should give me chatbot, right? All it is just 3 lines of code and 1 command. Now, depending on your app, you might use PNPM, you might use NPM. Just got to be mindful of that. And you just run it locally. Right? This is how you would usually work with a Next.js or a React app. You run it locally and then you take it to your Vercel. Whenever you start up a Next.js app, you're going to get a link. It's going to be this local link. Make sure it's localhost. And let's take a look at it. Let's see if there is a chatbot. Oh, there actually isn't. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, I'm doing it the other way, that's another way to do it. But you know what? If that doesn't work, let's take it to AI. We're gonna go to my front page. Let's see, is this pricing sign up? Yeah. We'll drop this in this dashboard layout instead. We'll use AI for this. Good old AI tutor. Let's see, Sonnet. Yeah, we'll do Sonnet. Sonnet is really good. You could just say, I want to add intercom chatbot. Here is my code. And here is the docs. Now we just let the AI code this. Yep. No, look, it's just gonna update what you have. Yeah. But yeah, I would just say watch out and make sure you know where you want to put it. Oh, it wants me to make a TypeScript declaration. All right. Well, it's a 12. Let's see what else. Where is this technical option? We'll skip it. Unless it goes here. And let's see. And there it is. Now we just gotta test it. I think there's like a test process that it wants you to do. Get it open. Messenger for visitor successfully installed. Done. Now you just add stuff. Yeah. Now, where do I add this Mintlify? Add stuff in Mintlify? No, not yet. So you gotta add stuff in Mintlify, but it would be in knowledge base. AI? There's thing called that data or help center or knowledge base for you in depth. Open the assignment. Knowledge. There. So you would give it like websites here and different things that you have. It could be socials. Yeah. It could be anything. If you guys have a Notion with all this stuff, you could even add a Notion. Super useful. I think Intercom themselves let you add articles. They do. It's the training part. You're training their GPT-4. But let's go to Mintlify. Let's sign up for Mintlify as well. So Mintlify, we can, I think, just look up mintlify.com. There's no special link. Let's sign up. And Mintlify is cool. Mintlify uses markdown files. So you could always just take that and put it on any other platform. Mm, I don't want to use this browser. See, okay. Yeah, right. Sign up in a different browser. But yeah, guys, you're gonna need a GitHub for this, so make sure you have a GitHub account as well. Okay, guys, questions about Intercom, questions about Mintlify so far.
Go ahead, Johnny. I was just going to say GitHub is really important, guys. That's your transcript. So you need a GitHub account whether you're going this route or not, right? Okay. Johnny, go ahead.
Yep. So the GitHub is asking for like a repository, and it gives a general starter.
Yes.
So is the Mintlify, so if I'm, and again, I'm just trying to understand it. If you give it a repository like you are doing right now, you're going to feed it the app you just
No.
did?
No. The reason you're giving it access to GitHub is because it needs to create a repository for the docs.
Okay. So the starter, they have a starter option. Can you add to it? Like,
Yeah, you can add right here in editor. You see there's a little editor in Mintlify, and you just need to make sure you connect it to GitHub. And then you'll be able to edit that repository. So you have all these files that you can edit that it actually gives you. And you could even take this to AI and say, remake this, because it's all code.
okay. So can you use this on more than one with the Mintlify and the Intercom? Can you do more than one site, or is it just made for one site?
What do you mean more than one site? You can make this in your Mintlify docs.
For different URLs?
You probably need to make a new account.
Okay. I guess I'm just curious. Again, I got
You could make
excited.
pages. You can make a side menu. You can make pages in Mintlify.
Okay. Great. I'll talk offline about getting the Cloudflare and the cPanel connected.
Excellent. Dan has his hand up. And Johnny, here's the interesting thing. Once it'll all click, right? You'll understand how the inner workings all work together. And when it does, you're like, oh my gosh, this is magic. You know, how they all interconnect with one another. You just have to kind of suss it out. I know it's kind of new to you, but it'll click. And when it does, we're all going to do a happy dance for you because we've all gone through this exact same moment. I guarantee it. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so I'm following along on the live stream, and I think I missed if there is a special magic link for Mintlify or just like log in with Google and then the GitHub.
No, Mintlify, you can just go sign up. It's free.
All right, sweet.
But yeah, guys, Mintlify is super useful. You just got to figure out what you want to put there, right? What is it that your app does that people maybe need to know how to do, right? Because we get questions all the time about, oh, how do you do this in Pixio? How do you do this in AdTutor? So just gotta get into the mindset of a person who's never seen your product. What would they want to know about it? But yeah, another great SEO, I guess, boost is that you're getting these links from Mintlify and your support. Now let's see how we can add this to Intercom. But yeah, another. What's up? Was somebody speaking? Did somebody have a question? Or am I just
I think it was a magic mic drop. I'm not sure.
okay? Hey guys, any questions? How to connect them? How to put them on your website? Now, Mintlify, you just need to put a link, right? You just need to put like a button somewhere that says Docs, and it can go to it if you need to, like lead people there.
Now, if the intercom is connected to the WordPress, is there a way to have the machine help me rewrite the way WordPress looks on my site?
Um,
You guys got a
I
plugin?
think I don't think the machine will rewrite how your WordPress looks. That's just not like WordPress doesn't really allow you to connect that way. You can post to WordPress, you can make pages through the machine, but it's not going to rewrite like global settings. There's certain access and privileges that are going to stop you from doing that. But you signed up for AM Mastery, so once you get started with your cPanel, we have Divi, and Divi is super easy. It doesn't require any coding. It's all just drag and drop, throw a bunch of blocks together. It has a lot of great starter projects, starter pages. I think most of you have AI Mastery, so most of you should be going to your WordPress and getting started with like a new WordPress and Divi.
I don't know why I can't find the area where the APIs were again in Intercom. I emailed them to you, but now I can't find them.
You don't need an API for Intercom. You just go to your channels and select React. There are no APIs you need to connect for Intercom. It embeds it. Yeah, you don't need an API.
Well, the snippet code, npm install at intercom messenger JS SDK.
Yeah, what about it?
So I copied that. I just was saying I can't find where I found that in an intercom.
Oh,
the
okay,
settings.
Okay, it's in channels messenger. So I have to get back there too now. I lost it too. So let's see if I can get back to it.
I'm just gonna listen because I have 3 screens right now and I'm overwhelmed. So I'm just gonna listen to you. So I see inbox, agent, knowledge, reports, outbound contacts.
Yeah, I'm also looking because I am also out of it. Okay, it's settings. Settings all the way on the bottom, then channels,
Yep.
messenger, and it is, let's see, it's in install
Okay.
on top
Gosh, what's
when you get into
weird
messenger.
is, okay, so I'm gonna do React.
Yes.
I press that. I'm gonna scroll down. Yep, this is the same code snippet. So we want the top one, not necessarily the bottom one, because you did both.
Yeah, you're gonna need both. First, you
So
need to
where-
install the dependency. That's what npm does. It installs intercom onto your
Okay.
website, and then you need to add this code snippet to one of the pages. You need to
So
add it to your
I'm-
front page.
So I'm following yours. When you went to layout, TSX, should I just
Yeah.
put on line 1?
Give it to AI and ask the AI to do it for you if you're not sure. Because I
So
don't
do I
exactly
copy
know
everything?
what your specific layout looks like. So copy the code for your layout and give it to AI. And then copy the code from this page and give it to AI and say, I want to add an intercom bot to this page.
Can I do that in Grok?
You can do in whatever AI you want. This is a fairly simple task, so any AI will be able to do. This is purely just like plugging the right thing in the right spot. So Grok will be able to do it. Free ChatGPT will be able to do it. Probably like Llama, probably Copilot on your computer will be able to do it if you have Copilot. But yeah, any AI, just like a super easy question, you'll be able to do it.
Okay, so I'm divvying this out. It's giving me the full. So then what I would then do is just take this full snippet, copy it, and then replace it in GitHub. You're on mute, Alisher.
You can't just copy it. You need to run this command. This is why you need this in your Visual Studio Code.
That's the first thing you said. You cannot copy it or you can copy it.
The command, you can't run a command in GitHub, right? So you need this in your VS Code if you're going to install this.
I need this in my VS Code. Yeah, I would just copy and paste it in the one that I'm looking at on layout now with this code in it.
Yeah, but check this out. You're not getting it, right? You need to run a command. You cannot run a command on github.com. In order for you to install Intercom onto an Next.js website, this needs to be on your laptop, on your computer, inside of VS Code or whatever code editor you're using, so you can run the install command.
Okay, I'm looking at your screen. How do I do that?
You're going to have to go back in the recording because I'm going to need to wrap up at 12 because I
Okay.
did it on the screen. It was around, if you want the exact time, it was around the 30-minute mark, probably in the live stream. Yeah, you run one command and then you put the code that the AI gave you. And then you can commit it to GitHub. We already went over committing to GitHub using VS Code many times. We're not really gonna go over it here. I think if you want to go back into the other seasons and learn a little bit more about using VS Code and GitHub, that could be useful because there is a flow, right? You go from your VS Code, you commit to GitHub, and then that automatically triggers a rebuild in Vercel. There is a flow there that you kind of have to follow.
What season was that in?
Season 1, season 4. I'm trying to think, maybe season 5 as well. Any season with the Next.js, pretty much.
I think it's, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it gets progressively easier as you use it. Lean into my AI tutor. It helps you a lot with the Next.js. I just did want to make sure that you knew that Whitney and Rutro both have their hands up too, hon.
Yeah. So, Whitney, what's up? What's your question? And then we'll go to Rutro.
Okay, thanks. I was just wondering what format, of document I should make for Mintlify to share information about like what my
Okay.
packages,
That's a good
tiers are.
question. What I recommend is you can actually take that entire Mintlify GitHub project and give it to AI, and the file format will most likely be MDX Markdown.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
There is a certain structure that Mintlify doesn't exactly show you in the editor. And the AI, it'll be able to give you like those docs pages a lot faster.
Okay. What about making a Notion template, that has all the information about the startup? Is that
You can do that as well,
helpful?
because you can add Notion to Intercom for sure. Yeah, you can add a bunch of different knowledge channels.
Okay, awesome.
And Notion is another one that uses MDX, so yeah, you could totally use that. Rotro, what is your question?
Yeah, I'm back to this whole sort of mixing WordPress and the Next.js. I'm sort of like on the fence. Seems like the microservice service that I want to build is really lends itself to Next.js, but where I have most of my stuff is WordPress. And I just wanted to know that GSAP and the Revolution slider, that was mostly for animation. So I'm just trying to figure out, do I have to pick one side, or is there a way to get the Next.js into WordPress? Yeah.
Whatever you can do in one, you can do in the other, right? This is almost like once you learn one coding language, the other ones become much easier because they're all kind of the same structure. Whatever it is you can do in Next.js, you can do in WordPress. WordPress is just a wrapper for PHP that already kind of gives you authentication, users, an easy builder, relationships, database. So that's really the main difference. WordPress kind of gives you everything you need to get started, versus Next.js, you start from zero.
Yeah, I guess I just, the WordPress is just that PHP, and then trying to build the microservice in there, it just doesn't speak to me. I don't know. Okay, thanks.
It's a lot easier. You don't even need to code if you want to build a microservice in WordPress. You slap a membership plugin on it, and then you restrict access to certain pages, and then you do whatever you want on those pages. So WordPress, there's pathways without with plugins without coding. Super easy. What's up, Johnny?
Okay, plugins. That's what I'm going to explore, those plugins. Thank you.
Yeah.
The other thing I had to ask was, if I already have the websites, how do I get them transferred to your cPanel? As far as do you need the code? Or?
Reach out to Rob, Second Tools, and he will give you a plugin that will literally take a carbon copy of your website.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a plugin all the WordPresses that you install on our cPanel come with.
Okay, so you'll just end up hosting them or whatever through cPanel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Thank
on
you.
that cPanel, you can make as many WordPresses as you want. Oh, Russ said he just reached out to you in Slack. Guys, any more last minute questions? If you wanna, okay, here's the thing. If you wanna know how to use it in WordPress, go back to about like, what would you say, Ross? 2.5 hour mark last night? Yeah. Go back to about 2.5 hour mark last night. You'll know WordPress. It just install plugin and logging in. It's this simple route. If you want to know Next.js, watch the recording for today, right? I went over it at about half an hour mark. It's just taking this code snippet, installing one thing into your website, and then having the AI rewrite it. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up. Do you guys have any last questions to get out of the way before I go to my next space?
I think we're good to go, my love. As always, Thursdays are a done, get her done, got her did, down and dirty, right? It's just the way it is. So hopefully all of you are caught up. Did you want to say what we need to have done before next class, and then we'll close it out?
Yeah, guys, before next class, make sure you still have your Stripe, right? Make sure that your Stripe is verified. It's going to be a lot easier to just plug it in. Number 2 is make sure you have your front page. That was one of the things that we started doing last night. And if you didn't get to finish, definitely work on it. That's your front page is essentially like the main part of your project in this season. And it's just a landing page. So try to focus on kind of compressing everything into that one page. Don't make it too long. And then number 3 is check out Intercom. Make sure you have everything that you need set up in Intercom. Make sure it works. Try chatting with it once. And if you want to use Mintlify for docs, just make sure you have something in there. Try to edit it. We are going to go more in depth into editing, but just like try. See what it looks like to edit your docs in Mintlify. Is it easier to get the images in there? And is it easier to edit it with AI? Because it is just a GitHub repo that you can take and throw into AI Tutor and start talking to it. Or take and throw it into Cursor and start talking to it and editing it.
Are they mutually exclusive, or can you have Intercom without Mintify? As you,
Yeah, you can have Intercom without Mintlify.
Okay.
You can have Intercom and you can have Notion as a data source.
Alisher, I have a really quick question. I don't know how to answer it actually. Is there a flow chart, a visual flow chart, how all of these fit together anywhere?
No, I don't think so.
I need to make one because I think